All right, guys and gals, we have got one break tonight, and that is select football. So, as we normally do, we're going to go over a little bit of information before we actually get started ripping. So, let's get some of that up on the screen while everybody's getting settled in. We can all get on the same page here anyway. Well, maybe, except apparently I clicked the wrong button. That's better, isn't it? All right, so feedback. My feedback is set to be completely automated. Anytime that you leave positive feedback for me, you will instantly get positive feedback in return. And of course, the second thing there is a big thank you. Always appreciate you being here, bidding, breaking, chatting, and hanging out with me. We are next going to take a look at what's coming up in the days ahead. So, tomorrow night we'll break the back half of a case of Heritage Baseball that we started on Wednesday. Sunday night will be an off night. Monday night, a 12-box case of Plates and Patches football. Tuesday night, we're going to break another case of Select football. On Wednesday, we're going to start at 8:45 Eastern, which is 5:45 Pacific. It is a big new release date. It's going to be a very long break that night, I expect. So as such, we're going to do only a half case of a couple of the products. We'll do a full 8-box case of Encased football, followed by a half case of Select basketball, and then a half case of Donruss baseball. And believe me, a half case of Donruss baseball is still a tremendous amount of cards. Yeah, that's what's going to make the break like unreasonably long. So that's going to be one where you're going to have to bring reinforcements. You're going to have to like practically bring a meal to sit through that one. And then as a result, Thursday night will be an off night. Here's what you need to know shipping wise. So Select, I'm hoping to get out the door approximately Tuesday. If I can get something out to you sooner than that, I will. But there is a lot of stuff right now that still needs to get out the door. So I don't really think it'll be before Tuesday. It could possibly even go a day later and hit Wednesday, but I'm hopeful that it will go out Tuesday. And XRC Redemption, as a final reminder, not a final reminder, but as another reminder, is a separate bidding category in this break. Of course, that information was provided in the listing description, and just refreshing your memory here. Now, normally we would look at the spreadsheet and then go right into breaking, but I think we've still got some unpaid teams. So I'm going to bring you back to my view for a minute, and I'm going to see where we sit with this. So it looks like we have the Arizona Cardinals unpaid in here and the Jags. So, you know, naturally the best team goes unpaid, doesn't that? Isn't that about par for the course? So, guys, I need to find homes for the Cardinals and the Jags. Looks like the Cardinals sold on eBay for $222. And the Jags sold on eBay for what? Let me pull that up. $85. So if someone wanted to take them both, I'd make you a little bit of a deal on it. Otherwise, I need to find homes for them individually if no one wants them both. So we're talking $222 on the Cardinals, $85 on the Jags. Everybody let me know your thoughts. And again, if somebody's willing to pick them both up, then I could maybe make you a little bit better deal on it. So I think Eric and Edward, you guys had asked, and Cruise Supply had asked about the pricing. So jump in there and let me know if you're interested. If you're not, please, guys. And Nicholas is here, and Dawn, and of course, Edward as well is here, and Sphinx 951 too. All right, so Eric, you are not interested in either team, the Cardinals or the Jags, okay? So that leaves Cruise Supply. What's your interest level? Edward, what's your interest level? I'm definitely can't break without selling these two teams because, well, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to just eat. So yeah, we're going to need to find homes for them. All right, so Edward, you're not interested in them either. Okay. Frank, we're looking at 200, you may as well say 220 for the Cardinals, and 85 for the Jags. And if you wanted them both, I would cut you a little bit of a deal on it if you wanted to buy both teams together, anybody. But I do need to sell those two teams since our winning bidders did not see fit to pay for them. Isn't that always the way? People love to bid and not pay, don't they? Let's check and see if anybody's paid out of the two in the meantime. Of course they haven't. We should have already known that. Cruise Supply, you're out. Okay. And so, Frank, what's your issue, Frank? Or nope, you're out too. Okay. Well, guys, I need to find somebody who wants the Cardinals and the Jags. So we are sitting kind of stationary here for a few minutes while we try to find somebody to pick those two teams up. You can thank your buyers who didn't bother to make payment for our nice little delay here. Oh, Todd, you got the Giants. Cool. Frank, you have the Chiefs. So, yeah, you guys already have some big ones in there. Yeah, Frank, I couldn't do both for 200 because obviously, we're talking about that would be a less than even one of the teams sold for. So I can't go quite that low, unfortunately. As I said, if someone wanted them both, I could give you a little bit of a break, but I definitely can't sell both for less than even the Cardinals sold for, unfortunately, especially because the Cardinals happen to be the premier team here. Obviously, in this break, everybody chasing Kyler Murray, and then, of course, everybody's chasing Gardner there for the Jags. Nicholas is hoping for some Steelers. I know, I would like that. So, Cruz, if you or whomever, if anybody wanted them both, I'd be willing to do, I think they add up to a little over 300. I would look at doing something like, say, 275 and shipping included. So no shipping costs there, and you would be saving, $35 or so, something like that, over the cost of what they hit on eBay. But right now we're just kind of in a holding pattern. I definitely can't break without selling the Cardinals, and really I don't want to do it without selling the Jags either. So Brandon, yeah, for both, somewhere around like 275, I would do them both and include the shipping. So that would save you, I don't know, roughly $32, and then the shipping saves you a little bit more. So I don't know, you'd be saving close to $40 between the shipping being waived and the reduction in price if somebody will buy them both. Otherwise, we got to have some traction here. So who's willing to step in and make an offer for them individually then? And by make an offer, unfortunately, I don't mean like offer half of what they sold for or that kind of thing. Something kind of close to where we were to begin with. We are talking about the Cardinals and the Jags are our two unpaid teams here. I don't know. Do you pronounce your name Adave? Is that the right way to say it? I don't know if it is or not. I'm really bad with name pronunciation, so I apologize if I just butchered your name. But yeah. So Cardinals and Jags is what we're looking for. Brandon, well, I would ship it. So shipping is included. It's not a local pickup thing. It's a shipping thing. And I'm talking about the Cardinals, right, which sold on eBay for $222, which I'm asking $220, and I would include the shipping at no cost. And then the Jags sold on eBay for $85, and I'm saying if someone bought them both together, I would do that for $275. Your shipping is included. Or if you want to buy them individually, then we're talking $220 and the $85 rather than, I'm not going to deal with the $222. We would just deal with the $200. So, and yeah, Frank, this is Select. It is a full case of Select football that we are working on right now. So Frank's going to offer 180 on the Cardinals. All right. We would still need to find a home for the Jags. That's less than I want to take on the Cardinals, but we may have to do it if we don't come across and find anything else any better. And let me check and see. Let me refresh and make sure, see if any of our wayward bidders have paid. Oh, look at that. The Cardinals, somebody did pay for the Cardinals, looks like just now, and since I last refreshed. So the Cardinals are done, amazingly. And Brandon, they were just about yours, man. I mean, you were about 2 seconds away, and I refreshed, and looks like the person who bought them had actually paid for them. So, Brandon, thank you for your willingness to step up there. I do appreciate that, though. And Adave, if you want the Jags, they are yours. That person still has not paid. So we're going to go ahead and get you set up here with the Jags. I'm typing in the email I use right now for PayPal. And while while you are getting that done, I'm going to clean it up here, close it out on eBay, and update the spreadsheet and all that. So the email address is in there for Adave. I may be pronouncing that wrong, and if I am, I'm awfully sorry. And that's going to give you the Jags at 85 in our case break of Select. So let's get this closed up here. And I'm going to update the spreadsheet real quickly. All right, just give me one more second, guys. It takes just a minute to get all this cleaned up here. But we're getting there. I appreciate your patience. I know this part's not fun. When people bid and don't pay, it's not cool. It slows it down for all of us, unfortunately. All right, come on now. Load there, please. What is this doing? Aye. All right, let's get spreadsheet updated. The Jags are all right. I think we've got that done. And if you can just give me the heads up if we are good on PayPal, what our situation is there on that. Oh, it's A Dave. Okay, it's A Dave S. See, I was being all fancy, wasn't I? Like Adave. Ooh, like your Italian name, Adave. All right, so A Dave. All right, well, that's what I get for trying to get fancy, isn't it? All right, so hey Dave, if you can give me the high five sign here when you are taken care of over there on PayPal for the Jags, I would appreciate you, sir, so that we know that that is squared away and done. And while we are waiting for that payment to come through on the second chance for the Jags, we'll go ahead and put our spreadsheet up again. So once again, hoping for a Tuesday shipping date. If I can get it sent sooner, I will. It could possibly slide to Wednesday if something unexpected happens. It has kind of been one of those weeks, but right now I'm anticipating Tuesday-ish. So somewhere Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday kind of time frame, this should be out the door. And of course, this ended tonight on eBay Friday night, the 28th of February. And thank you guys for bearing with me here while we got the Jags taken care of. And almost the Cardinals. Cardinals were almost sold, and then the person paid right at the last minute. But, of course, I do appreciate your willingness to step in there and pick them up had the payment not come in. And then remember, XRC redemptions, we will find approximately 3 of them. They have a separate bidding category, so each of those will go to that bidding category. And the last little bit here, you're going to notice that the background is about to go out of focus. That is on purpose, so please don't let that concern you. I like to look at things up really closely, so that change in focus allows us to do that. All right, and I guess we are about ready to rock and roll, aren't we? So let's get going on this. After our brief little delay there getting our team sold, we're going now. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, you sent it. Thank you. You sent it with no fees. I appreciate that. Have you got another team coming? If you do, I'll be able to print the label through eBay. And that way I don't have to worry about needing a shipping address and all that, because I know it won't give it to me on the other. Like when you send it as a friend, it never gives a shipping address. But if you have got another team coming from tonight or any other night that I can look it up on eBay, I can print the label that way. So just let me know if you can. Edward, you lost all your teams because your wife was talking to you at the last minute. Oh, well, you know what? It's just more to spend on a different night, right? That's the way that stuff goes. That's how we look at that, I think. Let me get a few sleeves out on the table here. And so we are looking for 2 autograph cards, 1 memorabilia card per box on average. In here, you know, Panini likes to use the on average terminology. So occasionally they may not give us a hit we're due. We actually did have that happen recently. They gave us an extra memorabilia and shorted us an autograph in a box. But normally, what it more frequently means is that, whoops, they take a hit away and give us rewards points. Boo. If we find rewards points tonight, I will set them off to the side, and of course they'll still be in view of the camera. And at the end of the night, we will use random.org to award any rewards points that we might find. If we find redemptions in here, our redemptions will set face down up in our housekeeping area, and we will flip those over at the end of the night and then go to the Panini website, find out what, if anything, they're numbered to, verify the teams, and all that fun stuff. So that's kind of how this is going to roll tonight. There will be lots of different parallels. We will stop and talk about them the first time we see them, and then we'll go a little bit faster through our subsequent boxes. So there are 3 different levels of base cards in here. It's, I always have to think about this. It's field level, concourse, and Premier or something like that. Premier may not be the 3rd one. I always forget the 3rd one. But anyway, that accounts for why you will sometimes see different images. So same player might have a couple of different images in here. So that's how that works. And what else? Okay, so you know what? I bet you I do not still have, if it was back in the fall, hey Dave, I'm going to say that probably I won't have access to it anymore. You can only look at orders like for the last X number of days. So I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. I don't normally check correspondence at the email address that I use for PayPal, but I am going to make a point of doing it tonight for this purpose. If you will send to that email address that I just typed in there and just put in the subject line select football, if you will email me your shipping address, that will be great, because I know it's not going to be on PayPal. Since you were kind enough to send it without fees, they will not give me your address, and I suspect that the order on eBay might be so far enough back that they won't let me see it there either. And I want to make sure, obviously, I have it so that I can get it to you. Okay, so this is an example of just a base prism here. And again, they can be different levels. This one, of course, is field level, but the unnumbered prisms, which I may intermittently call refractors as well, but those unnumbered prisms we're typically not going to flip over and look at because they're not numbered on the back. Things like this, which are numbered, this nice little Sam Darnold here is numbered to 99, so those we do flip over and take a little look at the back since it is, in fact, numbered. And then, of course, our standard base, we don't have to worry about flipping those over. And there again, that's just for the purposes of this first box. I'm flipping over anything that is a parallel. In subsequent boxes, again, we're not going to flip the plain base prisms that aren't numbered. This should be numbered to 35. It's Leighton Vander Esch for the Dallas Cowboys, and you'll see it down there at the bottom, is in fact numbered to 35. There's another base prism. It's Fletcher Cox. And a base there for Alvin Kamara and the Saints. There's a base Kyler. Usually I don't worry about sleeving the base while we go, but since that one is Kyler, which I just put him in a wrong sleeve, we will go ahead and sleeve him as we go. Being that that's a, you know, a little more expensive card. Davante Adams and the Green Bay Packers. And now there's red and there's maroon. This one is basically, I believe, maroon, which is the higher numbered of the two. So we have Justice Hill and the Ravens numbered to 149 on that one. And we are coming upon what I believe will be our first autograph tonight. Looks like it is numbered to 75 for the Lions with Ty Johnson. So first autograph out. So the other one was called Premier. Okay, good. That's what I was thinking, Frank, but you know, for some reason I always flake on that one. Like, I remember the concourse and I remember the field, and Premier is the one where I'm always like, is that what it is? So yes, you just confirmed I did actually have it right. So woohoo! Thank you for that. Damian Harris and the Patriots. Next up, we have Dwayne Haskins for the Redskins, numbered to 99. That is our relic from this box. And, of course, a bunch more base. A prism for the Steelers. Whoops, I told you I'd flip all of them out of the first box just so you can see that they're not numbered. A Baker Mayfield for the Browns. A lot more base. Another prism, Julio Jones and the Falcons. Michael Vick and the Eagles. That is numbered to 99. Oh, excellent. Thank you for sending me that address. I appreciate you. So what I will probably do when I print the label is I will email you back that tracking number just in reply to the email you sent me. I'll probably just email you back the tracking number so you have it. That would be I think, the easiest way to do it. C.J. Mosley, Jets. And we're about to see a die cut come up too. That was Terry McLaurin. Our first die cut of the night is Robert Woods. It's for the Rams. It's the purple version, numbered to 75. So there are several different versions of die cuts, as in they're numbered different ways. So we'll see some other parallels of that, or we should, as we go along. Miles Boykin and the Ravens. That is numbered to 49. It's a decent looking relic too, and of course that was in your signature to go along with it. So that wraps up box number 1, gives you a feel for what we're looking for and what we're going to find, and then we'll just plug our way right on through 11 more of these. I know we do need to find you some numbered Gardner Minshew, don't we? I say we just go all out. Let's find you some autographed Gardner Minshew. What do you think about that? Ah, see, that's why I show you the inside. There was a pack hanging out in there. Make sure we get them all. Well, at least hopefully we will. So yeah, next week, I can't believe how much stuff they're releasing on Wednesday. I mean, it's only 3 products, but they're all products that, well, 2 of them are long breaks. Like if we broke a full case of Select, which we're not going to basketball, we're going to break a half. But even so, that will take us 45 minutes or so. A full case would take us close to an hour and a half. And then if we did a full case of Donruss, that would be a couple hours. So even doing full encased, half of Select basketball and half of Donruss baseball, we're still probably going to be looking at, I would say close to a 3-hour break, something like that. It's going to be crazy. Of course, it's always brutal breaking those things like Donruss baseball that have so many cards in them. It's just, it's awful. I mean, it's good, but like, it also gets painful after a while, doesn't it? All right, so that was the Ravens. This is going to be numbered. It's going to be low numbered because we got a little flashy gold on there for Peyton Manning and the Colts, numbered to 10. So our first gold of the night is Mr. Manning, and that is an Adam Thielen for the Vikings. And we have a hit for the Vikings, Irv Smith Jr. That's numbered to 75. He's our relic from this box. And that's Jamison Crowder, followed by a little Christian McCaffrey, numbered to 199. So what I might do, rather than say the player names on the base prisms, maybe I'll just say the team name. Would that be easier? It might be easier. That way I don't have to say, every time prism, prism, prism on the base stuff. So Vikings had that one, and the Packers have this one to 199 with a little Aaron Jones. And that was the Eagles and Michael Vick. The Seahawks, DK Metcalf, numbered to 99, relic and autograph paired up there together. Jarrett Stidham, Patriots, and DeAndre Hopkins for the Texans. There's Jalen Hurd, 49ers, and a little Cam Chancellor for the Seahawks. Teddy for the Saints. I like little Teddy Bridgewater. I did not like him when he played at U of L because, I'm a I'm a Wildcats fan. That did not go well for us against Teddy Bridgewater. But once we got him out of my college realm there, I like him. That was Unitas for the Colts was the prism. And Bryce Love for the Washington Redskins, numbered to 175. So that's the first blue parallel we've seen tonight, I think. We'll find many more before we're all said and done. We are about to turn over one for the Dolphins. It is Mercury Morris, numbered to 99. He's got a nice looking signature too, doesn't he? A lot of those throwback SIGs, the guys signed their name with such precision. I kind of like it. Von Miller for the Broncos, and there's Brian Burns for the Panthers, numbered to 149. And that takes care of that box. Yeah, these days guys sign, well, you know what they look like. They sign with initials and, whatever. Hardly ever do they have a fully legible, nice-looking, full name signature anymore. But the old school guys almost all do. See these packs go out. They're like all crazy down in there. That little cutout is supposed to hold them in there real nicely. No, they're all in all kinds of states of disarray coming out of those boxes. Nick, you're a UK fan. I see a Go Big Blue typed in there. I like it, man. Yeah, that's where I went to school, so I'm definitely a Wildcats fan, and I have to let some of that go when I get to the NFL. Some of it. Because, you know, we have a lot of rivalries with UK football, and we haven't been very good for a lot of years, although the last few years we've definitely been getting better, but we had a lot of years where we really just stunk, and so we got just the heck beat out of us all the time. So yeah, that leads to some bitter feelings against some teams. And then I just have to forget about that when those players get to the NFL, and I got to start all over again and act like they didn't smoke us when we were in college, right? So, yeah. Oh, Nick, you're going to the Auburn game tomorrow. That is going to be crazy, man. And we better win that game. I mean, we need to win that game. We cannot lose to them again. No. We got to win that. Plus, that'll give us the SEC regular season crown outright, I believe, doesn't it? If we beat them, I think it does. DeAndre Hopkins and the Texans. Here comes our first hit out of this box. It's Josh Jacobs for the Raiders, and it is our relic, numbered to 99. Then we have Mason Rudolph, the man who got hit in the head with his own helmet, for the Steelers. Yeah, I'm a Steelers fan, but come on, to get hit in the head with your own helmet. Ryan Finley and the Bengals, numbered to 175. Of course, you all know I want my Steelers to pick up Teddy Bridgewater, but I don't think that's going to happen. Rashawn Gary for the Packers. And there is a Devin White for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, numbered to 149. Dwayne Haskins, we'll go ahead and sleeve him too, even though he's not going to be numbered, with a base prism for the Redskins and a white die cut. This should be numbered to 35, Matt Breida for the 49ers. And somewhere in here, hopefully, we're going to find a zebra parallel. Now, our first case of this, I think it was our first case, we did not find one. We found multiple one-of-ones, but we didn't have any zebra. In the next case, we didn't have all the one-of-ones, but we did have the zebra. So, that was Easton Stick for the Chargers. And there's a little DK Metcalf Seahawks. Another blue parallel, it's Pat Tillman. And Pat is numbered to 175 for the Arizona Cardinals. Let's go ahead and grab this. It's numbered to 25. It should be tie-dye when we flip it over. It's Trace McSorley for the Ravens. Has a lot of curvature on this particular card. A tremendous amount. And more so than normal. So a lot of these cards this year in Prism have more curvature than maybe we've seen in the last couple of years, for Select anyway. So more of it this year, and especially it seems like on the tie-dyes, they're just like really, really a lot of curvature. All right, there is the Redskins and the Rams, followed by the Lions, and there's another Dwayne Haskins base prism. It's not numbered, but we'll sleeve it now. There's other stuff too, guys, that you see go by that will be sleeved later. I'm just doing some of it as we pass through the first time. T.Y. Hilton, excuse me. We'll sleeve the numbered stuff. Numbered to 175, Will Greer and the Panthers. And there's a Darius Slayton for the Giants. And Jacoby Myers, numbered to 49 for New England Patriots. All right, we haven't seen any of our XRC yet. So I'm anxious to see what we pull from that, too. Some of those ought to be showing up pretty soon, I would think. Frank says, if I dislike players based on their ability to shred UK's football team, then you must dislike the majority of the NFL. That's why I said I have to let it go once they get to the NFL level. That was my whole point in saying that, man. That's why I explained it and said we've been getting our butts kicked for years. So there's no, when it's on the collegiate level, you can say, oh yeah, no, I don't like that guy. But when they get to the NFL, you have to start over. Gotta let that stuff go. Because otherwise, as you point out, wouldn't do real well for me, would it? David, I don't believe have missed any Bills hits. I mean, if there was anything, it would have just been a prism or something. I don't think it was. Yeah, we haven't hit anything of any consequence anyway. I think is the easiest way to say that. Well, Nicholas, I know that we're not going to be able to get Teddy Bridgewater. Plus, I think that they think in Pittsburgh that we don't need to do anything. But I think we do need to do something in the quarterback room. I mean, we saw what happened when Ben was out last year. And let's face it, Ben's getting older, and I don't have a tremendous amount of confidence that Mason is our franchise quarterback of the future, nor Duck Hodges. And Ben gets hurt almost every year these days because he's older, misses a few games most seasons. I think it's a mistake for us not to be looking for a good veteran quarterback to back up, like Teddy or Marcus Mariota, somebody that we know what their level is. Let them come in and back up now and then give them the keys to the kingdom in another year or two. But I don't think Pittsburgh's going to do that. Stephon Gilmore, there it is. Our zebra has appeared. So we know for sure we're getting it this case because here it is. It's for the Patriots. Now, those are not numbered, but they do generally fall about once per case. Now, as I said, sometimes there are cases where they don't show up at all. And every once in a while, we've had cases where we see them more than once, at least in past years. It's Bosa for the Chargers. Cousins and the Vikings. Daniel Jones there for the Giants. We'll go ahead and take care of him now too, as opposed to doing it after the fact. Miles Boykin, Ravens. That is another Peyton Manning for the Colts. Just a base prism. This should be numbered quite low to 10, I think. Ray Lewis, die cut Ravens. And it is numbered to the low number of 10. We like that. 10 is good. Man, we already saw this guy. What's up with that? Numbered to 35. The Dolphins. You get another Mercury Morris, because I know that's what you were thinking if you have the Dolphins. I'm pretty sure that you were just sitting there thinking, man, I really wish I could hit another Mercury Morris autograph. DK Metcalf and the Seahawks. So there you go. Now you have it. I know you're excited about it if you have Miami. Yes, indeed. Edward says Tom Brady to the Steelers. Yeah, that would never happen, nor would I want him. No, thank you. Mark Ingram, numbered to 75 for the Ravens with a die cut. Matt Stafford and the Lions. Montez Sweat for the Redskins. Numbered to 175. That was Darnell Savage Jr. That was the Packers. Jarrett Stidham, numbered to 25. So this should be tie-dye for New England. And it is our relic. So we got a tie-dye relic out of that box. I'll take it. And it would not be a break of 2019 football if we didn't find, oh, that's not Austin. That's Austin Eckler. I thought it was going to be Easton Stick. Oh, I have to retract it. That is Austin Eckler for The Chargers numbered to 99. Here I was thinking it was going to be the ever-present Easton Stick, but I was wrong. The Chargers and Melvin Ingram. We have a blue parallel here for the Oakland Raiders to 149. It's Darren Waller. Stay up there, Austin Eckler. It's because that tie-dye went under it is all bowed up. That's why they wouldn't want to sit there in a nice little pile. Carson Wentz and the Eagles. Jarvis Landry. That is numbered to 199 for the Browns. Will Greer, Panthers, and Devin Singletary, Buffalo Bills. Completes that box. What does that say? That says Maryland Pitt 21 Mike D. I'm just going to call you Mike D. I think that's a long username. It'll take me forever to get that out. How about I just call you Mike D? You said Bud Dupree, Wildcats and Steelers. Well, for sure. Yeah. And then obviously we've got Benny Snell Jr. on there as well. Another Wildcat player that's on the Steelers teams. But we've got a few little Kentucky Wildcats sprinkled around the NFL. And, of course, I always want my former Wildcats players to do well. So I have to root for the teams that they're on, which is another reason I kind of have to learn to love some guys that in college really vexed me. You know, have to want my guys to do well. Sphinx, we have, I don't think we've seen any Titans hits yet in terms of autographs or relics. I would not swear to whether or not we've seen numbered stuff or die cuts or whatever. That I couldn't tell you. I have no concept on that. But I don't think we've had an autograph or a relic yet for the Titans that I recall. Some of these guys might do a better job remembering it than I would. Since I am kind of multitasking, I don't often retain all the specifics as readily as when I watch somebody's break anyway. Eric Metcalf, that is numbered to 99. There's some more way back when ink. That is the Cleveland Browns. Sam Darnold for the Jets and a blue parallel for the Rams, number 149. All those blue parallels are going to be to 149. Paul Richardson, Redskins. Another little blank card there. Dan Marino, Dolphins. This Juju Smith-Schuster is going to be numbered. And it is the Pittsburgh Steelers to 149. Oh, boy. Hang on a second. Everybody knows better than to call me when I'm working, you would think. But no, some of them still do. They don't look at the clock. Riley Ridley and the Chicago Bears. That's numbered to 49. Nice looking relic and not such a nice autograph with just the double R's, but it's the ink that counts. Packers base prism. Followed by a die cut for the Eagles, numbered to 75. That was Miles Sanders. There's a little Kyle Allen out for the Panthers. And here comes Dwayne Haskins, numbered for the Redskins to 149. Jerry Tillery, that's the Chargers. Miles Sanders for the Eagles, and a little Kyler Murray for the Cardinals. Darrell Henderson for the Rams, and this is the orange parallel. I think those to 25 in here. Well, we're going to flip it over and find out. Ed Reed, Ravens, and they're to 49. See, I've got the Topps numbering in my head. Topps orange is to 25. To 49 in here in Panini World. Sorry. Michael Gallup, Cowboys. The Biscuit, Mitch Trubisky coming out, numbered to 99, the relic for this box, going to the Chicago Bears. And that is a Baker Mayfield and a N'Keal Harry to finish up that little box, which was box number 5, I guess, that we just finished. Getting ready to head into box number 6. We still have not seen our first XRC. They're hiding out big time tonight, aren't they? Maybe they're going to be really good ones, so they're hanging out to the end. They're saving themselves. They're like, yeah, we want to be a special showcase. Frank, you want a Chiefs Joe Montana autograph. Is he in here? Autograph for the Chiefs? I guess he is, or you wouldn't be asking for it. I guess you saw it on the checklist. I didn't realize that there was on this checklist a Joe Montana Kansas City Chiefs auto. So all right then, man, let's do it. Let's find it. Edward says that Mitch Trubisky is going to be the former quarterback for the Chicago Bears. Yeah, who knows what's going to happen there. I mean, he definitely isn't terrible. He's actually pretty good in the grand scheme of things. But I just don't think he progressed the way that they expected him to. He didn't make that big jump. And I don't know if they'll stick with him or not as a result. It's hard to say. But I guess you obviously do not think they're going to. So. Oh, Andy Dalton. Oh, is Andy Dalton going to the Bears? But not to start, right? Isn't Andy Dalton going as the backup to the Bears? He's not going. I mean, if he, I hadn't heard that Andy Dalton was going to the Bears, but I'm assuming you're saying that's what happened. If so, wouldn't he be going there as the backup, not the starter? I would think. I wouldn't think they would start Andy Dalton over Mitch Trubisky. They might, but I don't think so. Who knows? Well, you might. You might know all kinds of info that I don't know about that yet. Chris Carson and the Seahawks. And we have a little tie-dye here, and it is headed to the Patriots, number 225, with a little Chase Vinovich. I think that's our first freestanding tie-dye that we've seen. The Browns, Mac Wilson. It is numbered to 35. A lot of curvature on that card tonight, too. In general, there's just a lot in here. A lot of curving. Another Marino for the Dolphins. And Miles Boykin, the Ravens, numbered to 49. Relic hit. And that was Jim Kelly for the Bills. Followed by David Montgomery for the Chicago Bears, number 275. I think that's the first one we've seen of that color as well, isn't it? Tonight, freestanding. I mean, it's not a, well, we've seen it in a die cut, I guess, to that color. So technically not. Jimmy G for the 49ers, and that was Marquise Brown, Ravens. David Montgomery for the Bears. Here's Darrell Henderson for the Rams, the blue parallel, numbered to 175. That was the Packers, and then the Patriots. Wait a minute. See, I knew somebody was stuck to the back of David Montgomery. Finally, an XRC. We're going to set it there. I'm going to flip it in just a hot second. I'm going to finish looking at this little stack. Sam Darnold. The rest of our base from that little stack. Now, Let's get our little hands on this XRC and see who's on the other side. All right. It is... Oh, man. Defensive player 3. All right. Defense 3 it is for the first XRC. Sphinx, you did a break earlier today, a 24-box break, and no Deebo Samuel came out. Oh, out of 24 boxes? Dang. We got to try to do better than that, don't we? That was Manning for the Colts, and I am holding it upside down. Terry McLaurin for the Redskins, numbered to 175. Steelers finally making an appearance. To 25, it is a tie-dye Juju Smith-Schuster relic for my Pittsburgh Steelers. And Nicholas. You have them tonight, right, Nicholas? Thielen Vikings. For the 49ers, numbered 275, it is Patrick Willis with a little ink and a relic for the Niners. So it's not Deebo, but it's better than getting skunked, right? Darrell Henderson, Rams, Aaron Donald. Now, this is the first one we've seen tonight that's red. The red and the maroon look very close, but they're not. So the reds are to 99, like this one. The maroons that we've been seeing up until this point have been 149. The reds are to 99. Wow, I could not get that out. See, I've been trying not to have caffeine at night very much lately. And it kind of does something to me. It puts my brain in neutral or something. I don't know. I used to always drink Red Bull right before the breaks. And I don't now because I'm limiting my caffeine. But boy, it makes my life rough some nights. Some nights it does. David, I know the curvature is not a big deal in terms of grading and things like that, but I will tell you that there are people who, if you maybe are not as familiar with the product or haven't done a lot of Prism or Chrome or Select breaks and don't know to expect it, there are people that if you have not educated them about what to expect and demonstrated it on the live stream, that it can be problematic down the road. I'm trying to be diplomatic in the way I say that. So trust me when I tell you that over the years I have learned that it is best to make sure you mention things, usually several times, because even mentioning it a number of times, there will still often be somebody who doesn't know what you've said. So, what does that say over there? Man Beast, you need some help. All right, what is your team in here? Who's your team? We'll try to send you some mojo. You got to let us know who you've got, though. David, you saw a Nike swoosh Willis 1 of 1 get pulled the other night. Yeah, you know I'm a sucker for the Nike swoosh and the NFL Shield. And I'm kind of glad that Nike took over the uniforms for Major League Baseball, because now we'll get the swoosh and baseball cards too. So I like that. Michael Thomas and the Saints. I mean, the Majestic logo was okay, but the swoosh is better. To 99, the Ravens and Marquise Brown. That is our relic from this box. Russell Wilson Seahawks, numbered to 75. We have a die-cut Kyle Allen for the Panthers. Julius Peppers, Panthers. Jarrett Stidham, Patriots. David Montgomery, Bears, a tie-dye die-cut. Mark Ingram to 25 for the Ravens. freestanding purple to 75. It's Tim Boyle for the Green Bay Packers. N'Keal Harry, Patriots. The Rams and Cooper Kupp. Deontay Johnson, Pittsburgh Steelers, 149. Josh Allen, Jags. So my mom called me right before the break, or pretty close to the time the break was about to start, and told me that I hadn't read this yet or heard this. I guess Malik Monk has been, former UK basketball player, currently plays for the Hornets, has apparently been suspended on a drug violation. Does anybody know the details on that by chance? James Conner, Steelers. Whoops, that is also a Prism. Alvin Kamara for the Saints. The Jets are about to have some luck. C.J. Mosley, numbered to 15. Woohoo! Low number Jets. That's tie-dye as well, but numbered even lower than our traditional tie-dye numbering of 25. That one was 15. Another Kyler Murray, base Prism, Cardinals. John Ross for the Bengals, and I did not mean to stack him there. Rashawn Gary for the Packers, 199. N'Keal Harry, Patriots, numbered to 10. Sweet. Nice little hit, numbered to 10. He should, I would think, have a bit more of a prominent role for the Patriots in the upcoming season, so that might not be a bad one to sock back and hang on to. You said Green Bay legend Tim Boyle. Oh, I know. Every time I see Tim Boyle, I kind of think to myself, man, wouldn't you hate to be that guy? Like, you get drafted there to Green Bay as quarterback. Like, on the one hand, you do, I guess, get to learn sitting behind Aaron Rodgers, but on the other hand, you're like, oh yeah, I'm not going to be playing any real minutes ever. But hey, I guess they still make a lot of money, so, and they get to hang out with Green Bay and whatever, so maybe they don't care, I don't know. But I always think the same thing when I see that Tim Boyle. You said it's not marijuana and it's not PED, so it can't be good. Oh, dang. Oh, dang. No, that is not good. So, did they just say what it wasn't in the news release and they won't say what it is? That seems dumb. Why wouldn't they just say what it was? I mean, it's going to come out sometime. And the NBA is, if the NBA front office is not willing to say what it is, good grief. I mean, was he doing meth or something? Oh, brother. Yeah, that's not cool at all. And as you say, he was finally starting to kind of hit his stride. He was finally starting to get in gear. But I guess, I don't know, I didn't see the newscast. As I said, it was my mother who called and told me about it. And she said that Malik apparently just basically said, look, I went to the NBA when I was too young. I was 18 years old, and I just didn't handle it well, or something to that effect. So you're kind of thinking, okay, so have you been using whatever you're using the entire time? Or what? Oh, the whole thing just sounds bad. Paris Campbell for the Colts. We have the blue parallel Bobby Wagner. That's the Seahawks, numbered to 149. Odell Beckham Jr., Browns. And that was Jared Goff for the Rams. But that's the thing about all these kids that go so young into pro sports. All of a sudden, you've got all this money and all this freedom, and you're playing with grown men, and you're on the road all the time, and you have very little supervision, and you're going from a highly structured college environment to a very loosely structured, in comparison, for pro environment. Leighton Vander Esch to 75. There you go. That's a nice one for the boys. And yeah, and then you add money on top of it. I mean, if you'd given me that kind of money when I was 18 years old, who knows what I would have done? Who knows what any of us would have done? Taylor Rapp for the Rams, and Jared Goff for the Rams to 199. Not to mention Trace McSorley for the Ravens, that you've got everybody, kissing your butt if you're a pro athlete. So there's nobody telling you no or slow down or stop or anything. They're just like, yeah, more. Jerry Tillery to 49, the orange parallel for the Chargers. And there's Damian Willis for the Bengals. A die cut Carson Wentz for the Eagles, numbered to 99. It's the first die cut we've seen to 99. They've all been lower. Jacoby Brissett for the Colts. Saquon for the Giants. Our second XRC making an appearance. Let's hope for QB1. Come on, QB1. Let's try to give it the lucky tap. QB1, be on the other side. It is... Oh, dang. It's QB4. I tried, man. If you got the XRC redemption tonight, I tried to make that be a QB1. I did try, but I don't know. Oh, wow. Nick says that you thought Malik Monk looked like he had a more promising career than De'Aaron Fox or Bam Adebayo? Wow. It's Joe Flacco and the Ravens. I would have probably, out of those three, I would have probably chosen Bam just because I thought he had the most ups. I thought he had a lot of development left to do, and I thought he would put in the work to do it. Number to 199, that is BC Johnson for the Vikings. And Malik, I wasn't sure if he would put in the work he needed to put in. I did think he was good, but I didn't know how hard he would work to get better. Does that make sense? And then De'Aaron, I also knew he was going to be good, but I also thought he was closer to already being at his potential than maybe Bam was. In other words, I thought Adebayo had untapped potential. Maybe that's the way to say it. Griffin, number 225, tie-dye, relic, and autograph for the Seahawks. But obviously, I hope all my guys do well. N'Keal Harry for the Patriots, T.J. Hawkinson for the Lions, and Mecole Hardman Jr. for the Kansas City Chiefs. Seahawks, Gary Jennings Jr., numbered to 99, is our relic. It was a Seahawks kind of box there, wasn't it? It was all going Seattle's way right there. Frank says this is the worst case in history for the Chiefs. Wow, man. We're not done yet. You can't give up on me yet. Come on, man. We've got, counting the one that's sitting out right now, we got 4 boxes left to look through. You got to keep the faith there. Keep the faith. Well, Nick, you have a really good point about Malik being a volume shooter and it being that kind of a vibe in the NBA these days. That is very true. I mean, the big man has not been in favor, really, in the NBA for a while. So yeah, if I look at it from that perspective, yes, I would agree with you that you would have looked at it and said, Malik should be the guy because he's a volume shooter and he's a good shooter. He's a little streaky, but he can put it up and pour them in on the right kind of night. So I could see why using that, using that very obvious logic, which was I did not even pass through what I was talking about it a minute ago. But yeah, that is a very obvious choice that I should have seen, and I do agree with that. I was just really looking more at their potential. I don't know. I kind of evaluate them differently when they're in college, and I'm always looking for who's working hard and who looks like they have a lot of upside left and who looks like they're already close to peaking and that kind of stuff. Just because we watch them over the course of the season, you know. Jerry Rice and the 49ers. But that is a good point, and I stupidly just didn't see it in the beginning, or wasn't considering it, I should say. Aaron Donald to 75 for the Rams. But yeah, I do think that makes perfect sense. Amari Cooper, Cowboys, and Randy Moss for the Vikings. Brandon Cooks for the Rams, and Josh Jacobs for the Raiders. There he is. See, I told you, we always find this guy. Always find this guy. Easton Stick for the Chargers to 199. Imagine that. Yeah, imagine finding him in there. You said that the Bills are a little bit tough in this product, David. Yeah, I would agree with that. They haven't been coming out of here with high frequency this year. I would definitely agree with that. Sphinx says Chiefs, Steelers, and Titans all need to get moving. And I would agree with that too. So this 250 points card, which I'm going to be giving out using random.org at the end of the break. If you are the team owner that gets that card, please, after the break, go to your eBay messages right away, because as you saw, that hit face up. So I'm going to be immediately sending you that code to your email at the conclusion of the break after we've awarded it. That was Deshaun Watson for the Texans. And you will want to also immediately redeem it upon receiving it in your email. David Montgomery and the Bears, numbered to 175. Anytime they hit face up, that's what I'm going to do. Collier and the Seahawks. So we will need to coordinate on that. I will do it within a couple of moments after the break ends. I will kind of immediately head to email. So make sure you check yours if you are the team who ends up with that card. DeAndre Baker for the Giants. And here comes another Riley Ridley. It is numbered to 99 for the Bears. This one is relic only, though. N'Keal Harry for the Patriots. And numbered to 199, there's DeAndre Baker and the Giants. Deshaun Watson, Texans. And this will be numbered to 35. It's Devin Singletary for the Buffalo Bills. We were just talking about them a minute ago. Maybe we got lucky and conjured up a hit by talking about them. David Montgomery for the Bears. And then we have a die cut Allen Robinson. And that is numbered to 75 for the Bears. Kyle Allen for the Panthers. And that wraps up that little box. We have not had any big Cardinals to answer your question, Joshua. We have not seen anything that I would call quote-unquote big. And Frank says you've broken enough of this product too so far. You've had to buy a lot of cards as singles instead. Or no, I'm sorry, David said that. Frank said you have broken a lot to only end up with a Lynn Dawson autograph and a McCoy Prism. Gotcha. Yeah, his lack of defense, I'm catching up on my chat there. Nick, I agree with you. His lack of defense is one of the things that troubled me about Malik Monk, because he was just so completely and utterly disinterested in playing defense. And I'm like, what in the world? What is happening there? How did we even let him? I mean, of course you're going to let him play for UK because he can score the points, but I hardly even know how Cal let him get out of there not playing any better defense than that. Well, Sphinx says you spent enough on breaks, you could have just bought a Murray and a Mahomes autograph. It's funny that you mentioned that because I've talked about this before. I am the same way. I would always rather hit a card in a break, somebody else's. Obviously, I can't enter my own breaks. I could, but I don't. Or pull it myself out of the case or a box or a pack that I'm opening than I would just to buy it. I get zero satisfaction out of just buying it. And you would think, logically, it should not matter. If I want the card, no matter how I get it, I should be happy that I have it. But I am so not that way. I want to either hit it in a break of somebody else's that I bought into, or I want to hit it opening up my own stuff. I don't want to just buy it. It's because it's that whole thing that lights up that big reward center in my brain. I've got to do it the other way, even when it costs me more money. I know it's just stupid, but I am exactly the same way. Exactly the same way. We've talked about that before. It's funny how it works. David Johnson for the Cardinals. This is probably going to be numbered to 5. It is a green die cut for John Ross and the Bengals, and it is indeed numbered to 5. Nice hit there. And here's another Daniel Jones base prism for the Giants, followed by a red parallel to 99, Darwin Thompson, Kansas City Chiefs. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Here you go, Giants. Daniel Jones, tie-dye to 25. Not tie-dye. I thought it was going to be tie-dye. It's not. But either way, it's still Daniel Jones to 25. I'm just used to 25 being tie-dye. Either way, really nice hit. If you've got the Giants tonight, that makes you happy. All right, Nicholas, you need a Devin Bush or a Deontay Johnson autograph. And Brandon is looking for, you say Bosa, I don't know if you mean Nick or Joey Bosa. But we'll try to find a Bosa autograph regardless. Yeah. And there's a little Marquise Brown for the Ravens. Our hit, or a hit, is numbered to 49, Nick Chubb for the Browns. 2-color relic. Nick, you said P.J. Washington had 15 and 9 against the Raptors tonight. Oh, good. All right, so not all bad UK news coming out with the Hornets. Patriots and Edelman, followed by a DK Metcalf for the Seahawks, numbered to 99. And that was Patrick Peterson for the Cardinals. Dak Prescott for the Cowboys. Another Kyler Murray prism for the Cardinals. Maybe the third one, maybe, of Kyler Murray prisms. Second or third, I think third. Ed Reed, Ravens. Cam Chancellor for the Seahawks. Aha, our third XRC. Usually you find 3 a case. That's another one where they say on average, so they don't guarantee it. But traditionally you find 3, so this is going to be our third one. Let's hope it's a big one. All right, XRC, who you bringing us? Running back 3. Well, I'm kind of okay with that. Because running backs are wild cards. You can get some, and you can end up getting some nice, really desirable players all the way into even probably running back 6 or 7, so that's not bad. Odell Beckham Jr. and the Browns. And truthfully, that QB4 from earlier is probably also going to be pretty good this year, I would think. The Lions, Marvin Jones Jr., numbered to 49. And Hunter Renfrow for the Raiders. Steelers and Big Ben. That is a nice low number as well. Well, actually it's not. It's to 99. I thought it was going to be to 10. I forget those are they're calling that gold, our Steelers colors. Still nice to 99. I just saw the gold and thought it was going to be to 10. Sorry, Nicholas. I got your hopes up, didn't I? For a hot second. Dalvin Cook, Vikings, and there's your other base, our last base out of this box. And then C.J. Mosley for the Jets is numbered to 149. All right, we have got ourselves 2 boxes left. Nicholas, you've been on a streak of being skunked for autographs, so we gotta get your skunk streak broken. All right, my friend, I'm gonna try. I will do my best to bring that mojo for you. I just read David's comment. He likes to just purchase his card as single so he has the best collection to attract a lot of women. Ah, that's a good one. I like that. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I just can't hardly bring myself to do it. I have done it before. I have bought single cards before, but it's very seldom that I do it. And then I always never like the card as much as the cards I pull otherwise. Even though it might be nicer and lower numbered and everything about it, probably it's worth more, the whole deal. I always kind of still just look at it as, I don't know, the wicked stepmother or something. And I'm like, ooh. Ooh, I don't like you as much, card, because I didn't pull you in a break. I know, it's odd. Okay. Let's get going here. Hey, Dave said quarterback 5 last year was Lamar. Well, that's true. That's a good point. That's why this year, I mean, I think QB4 this year will still be pretty good. Cam Newton and Carolina. It's just we all want QB1 because everybody assumes, well, it's going to be Joe Burrow. I think everybody would be super shocked if it weren't. To 49, our relic is Noah Fant for the Broncos. Nasir Adderley for the Chargers. Marquise Brown, Ravens. Chase Vinovich for the Patriots. And Michael Thomas for the Saints. Johnny Unitas for the Colts. A blue Aaron Jones for the Packers, numbered to 149. Derek Carr for the Raiders. Benny Snell Jr. to 75. Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's that kind of box where they're coming out all over the place. This is numbered to 199, Devin Bush. So there you go. You asked for Devin Bush, and you got the autograph and relic, and we broke your streak of getting skunked on autographs. So there you go, Nicholas. Now your night has improved, I bet. Now he's feeling like, oh, yeah, this is a good case. I like this case. A minute ago, he'd be like, oh, this is the worst case I've ever seen. We're all that way. Don't sweat it, man. We're all like that. Numbered to 25, Denzel Ward and the Cleveland Browns. who've kind of quietly been racking up some stuff tonight. Sony Michel and the Patriots. A blue parallel for Jacksonville, number to 149, AJ Boy. There's Marquise Blair for the Seahawks. Josh Allen, Jags. Derrick Henry, Titans. And we're coming up on another numbered card here. That is Christian McCaffrey, I believe, for the Panthers. The orange parallel, numbered to 49. And there's Devin White for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And behind that, this should be numbered to 35. It's Nick Bosa for the 49ers, to 35. All right, last box, kids. So it is last box mojo time coming your way right about now. Presley, you've been buying some Zion Williamson base because you can't afford to get it any other way. Well, yeah, that is a good point. Some of these teams are absurdly expensive to buy. Pelicans in basketball this year certainly being in that category. So yes, that is, sometimes you're right, the only way to get it, unless you want to drop 3, 4, 500, maybe more, depending on the product. Upwards of 1,000 in Prism and things like that to get the team. Yes, I mean, I couldn't do that either. So if I were collecting Zion, I would be like you. I would have to buy some singles. I wouldn't be able to pick up that team in the break. So yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, Presley, QB4 could end up being Jordan Love for sure. And I think once you get past the top two, which is widely expected to be Joe Burrow and probably Tua coming out next, unless some weirdness comes out about his healing from his injury between now and draft night. And then below that, you've got another 3 or 4 guys, any one of which have the possibility to ultimately end up being quite good. So it's one of those that's really hard to figure how it's going to roll. Sphinx says a lot of people are talking about the fact that they think Joe Burrow will be a bust in the NFL. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing that's it's so hard to know. Some of these guys that look great in college, they get to the NFL and it's a whole other matter and they don't really produce like it is expected that they will. And then other guys that get in there, they think are going to do terribly, like Lamar Jackson. Everybody had questions about him. I didn't because I watched him play at Louisville, but a lot of people did. And even in his first year when he was still mostly backing up, a lot of people didn't support him. Eagles and Raiders. Thielen for the Vikings. So it is a little bit of a crapshoot, but it also depends a lot on the coaching staff and the scheming. I mean, that was the whole thing with Lamar Jackson this year. They built the offense around him and for him. And the year before, what limited amount that he did play, they tried to force him into a scheme rather than building the scheme and the personnel around him. Eric Metcalf, that is numbered to 99. We got more throwback ink, and that's the Browns again. So there's a lot of factors that play into it. Having the right coaching staff, having the right coaching staff put in the right scheme for you. Broncos and Von Miller. And then, of course, just the age-old got to be willing to put in the work because it's a lot harder for these guys in the NFL than ever thought about being in the collegiate game. Miles Sanders, numbered to 25, ink, relic, tie-dye, Eagles. Preston Williams, that is the Dolphins. And here comes a Jacoby Myers For the Patriots, numbered to 199. Juju Smith-Schuster and TJ Hawkinson, Steelers and Lions, respectively. John Ross for the Bengals. We have a white die-cut Patrick Peterson to 35 for the Cardinals. Christian Wilkins, Dolphins, and a Devin White for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the red version to 99. Josh Jacobs for the Raiders. This is the maroon version. Pat Tillman, Cardinals to 149. Christian McCaffrey, Panthers. Let's go ahead and just pull that other base out from behind there. And we have a blue Ty Johnson for the Lions, numbered to 175. And that's Jarrett Stidham, Patriots. Mike Williams, Chargers, numbered to 75, is our relic out of this box. And as it so happens, also our last hit. It held on right there to the bitter end. So here's what we're going to do next. We're going to give away this 250 points card using random.org. And as another reminder, if you did not hear me say this earlier, if you are the team that hits this 250 points card, please, please, please check your eBay messages as soon as the break ends. I mean, as in, you know, within 5 minutes of the time the break ends. I'm going to send you a picture of that, and you will want to immediately redeem that, because obviously it hit face up in the stack, and we all know what that means. There are nasty little lurkers out there who like to take things that don't belong to them. I'm just organizing some of the lower numbered stuff here real quickly, because we are going to recap our cards that are numbered to 49 and below. We're not going to recap higher than that because there's zillions of numbered cards, but 49 and below we will. So meanwhile, we're going to give that bad boy out, and let's try and get that taken care of. And what did you ask me there? You've never seen so many doubles. Were these all from the same case? Yeah, it's one sealed case, guys. I mean, you saw it open up there. Anytime I do a case, if it is not from one case, in other words, if some came from one place and some came from another, I always note that in the description. It'll always say loose boxes from shared cases, and I also always note it on the spreadsheet. So, yeah, it was a sealed case, and unfortunately, there have been plenty of times I've seen lots of doubles come out of just about any product, frankly, where you can on any given day find lots of doubles of the same guys, and it frustrates us all, but it does happen. All right, so what we need to do now is give away this 250 points card. And the XRC redemption is a bidding spot, so they are going to be included in this little rodeo here too. And it works like this. Anytime I do random, if I have 9 or fewer, I do random 3 times, and only the third one counts. If I have 10 or more items in the list, which obviously we do here, I have 33 items in, I do random 1 single time, and wherever it lands after we do the first random, we'll get this 250 points card. Scrolled through there so you could see all the teams, including the XRC, are in there. Good luck, and here we go. It gives us the Carolina Panthers. All right, so the Panthers are getting the 250 points card. So if you are the Panthers team owner, please, please, after this break ends in a few moments, check your email. Look for that code and redeem it tonight. Immediately, as soon as possible, because I can't stop the YouTube automated, what's the word I'm looking for, replay video from posting. Like, I could delay what I was going to post myself, but I can't delay what YouTube archives and posts. So we don't want to have any things hanging out there on that. All right, let's recap some of our lower numbered things here. A die cut John Ross for the Bengals that is numbered to 5. This is not numbered, but it is a case hit, and that is our Zebra Prism. It's headed to the Patriots with Stephon Gilmore. Numbered to 35, Matt Breida for the 49ers. Numbered to 35, there's Patrick Peterson for the Arizona Cardinals. Numbered to 25, Mark Ingram and the Ravens. To 10, Ray Lewis and the Ravens. To 10, Peyton Manning and the Colts. 25, Patriots, Chase Vinovich. 35, Devin Singletary and the Bills. 35, Leighton Vander Esch and the Cowboys. 35, Nick Bosa and the 49ers. To 49, there's Christian McCaffrey and the Panthers. Tillery to 49 for the Chargers. Ed Reed to 49 for the Ravens. All right, then we're going to take a look at this little stack. So the 250 points we've talked about, you know the deal. That's the Panthers. Our XRC redemptions all go to that XRC bidding spot. We have running back 3, quarterback 4, and defensive player 3 for the XRCs tonight. Our stack of relics brings us Mike Williams for the Chargers, Noah Fant and the Broncos, Nick Chubb for the Browns, the Bears and Riley Ridley, the Seahawks and Gary Jennings Jr., Marquise Brown and the Ravens, the Steelers, tie-dye, Juju Smith-Schuster, Miles Boykin, numbered to 49 for the Ravens, Mitch Trubisky for the Chicago Bears, a tie-dye Jarrett Stidham to 25 for the Patriots, Josh Jacobs and the Raiders, Irv Smith Jr. for the Vikings, and the last relic, Dwayne Haskins for the Redskins. So that takes care of the relic recap. Now let's look at the autograph recap here. C.J. Mosley, tie-dye for the Jets. Patrick Willis for the 49ers. The Browns have Mac Wilson. Riley Ridley for the Bears. Eric Metcalf and the Browns. Austin Eckler, Chargers. Mercury Morris, Dolphins. Jacoby Myers, Patriots. Tie-dye Trace McSorley for the Ravens. Different Mercury Morris for the Dolphins once again. DK Metcalf, Seahawks, the Ravens, and Miles Boykin. Ty Johnson for the Detroit Lions. Tie-dye Eagles, Miles Sanders. There's another Eric Metcalf for the Browns. Denzel Ward, also the Browns. Devin Bush for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Marvin Jones, Lions. Daniel Jones, I forgot we hit that. Daniel Jones for the Giants. That's a really nice hit. I completely forgot we hit it so long ago. Easton Stick and the Chargers. A tie-dye for the Seahawks. Griffin and Vander Esch for the Cowboys. And the Patriots to 10 with N'Keal Harry. All right, kids, so that is the break for tonight and the recap. I am going to put up all the spreadsheet information one final time. If you have scrolled to the end, if you're watching this after the fact, or if you weren't tuned in earlier, coming your way now, shipping information and what's coming up in the days ahead. So I am expecting to get this out the door on or about Tuesday. So what that means to you is that it could possibly be earlier than that, or it could even be slightly later than that by a day. But my goal is to have it out on or about Tuesday. Everybody, of course, hit cards in here, so we don't need to worry about consolation cards. Everybody hit cards, so You'll just get whatever you hit for your team. Base and everything ships in this particular break. Here's how it looks in the days ahead. So tomorrow night, it is Heritage Baseball half-case break. It's the back half of a case that we started on Wednesday night, which was its release day. Sunday will be an off night. Monday night, we're going to open a 12-box case of Plates and Patches football, which I think is the last Plates and Patches that I have. On Tuesday night, we're going to open Select Football, another case of that. And once again, XRC Redemptions will be a separate bidding spot. Wednesday, we've got a big long break ahead of us on Wednesday night, and we're going to start a little bit early, 8:45 Eastern, 5:45 Pacific. It'll be a full case of encased football, followed by Select Basketball, a half case, which is 6 boxes, and then a half case of Donruss Baseball, which is 8 boxes, and a half case of that is like a lot. It really is a lot. Then on Thursday night, it will be an off night, simply because Wednesday night's just going to be awful. So in terms of the amount of time it takes to do it, and in terms of the amount of time that it will take to sort and send it. All right, so that, I guess, has got me covered for tonight. As always, I appreciate you being here, bidding, breaking, chatting, and hanging out with me. I'm going to take a look here and make sure that I haven't missed anything in chat. I probably have. Chat was moving fast tonight, and I couldn't scroll quickly enough. So let's see if I missed any questions or anything in there for that. Wow, so Nicholas hated that case, even though you got some good hits out of there, Nicholas, including the Devin Bush you wanted. All right, well, sorry, man. Unfortunately, I can't control what comes out of it. I can't help that. I wish I could. I'd make every case all one of ones. And KM Cards, hi. I didn't see you earlier, so hi to you and hi to Dawn. I think both of you guys jumped in there kind of towards the end, and Eric as well. So thanks, everyone. I'm sorry we didn't pull better stuff for everybody, but, well, we'll try harder next time. We'll try to work the mojo even harder next time. So thanks, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy your weekend. If I don't see you again tomorrow night, I hope you will stop back and see me sometime soon. Until tomorrow, bye now.